The biggest threat to success is fear. The biggest problem of human life is fear. It is fear that robs us of our happiness. It is fear that is making us to settle for less than what we are capable of. It is fear that brings out all the negative emotions, causes unhappiness and a lot of problems in human relations. But the best thing about fear is that it is learned and it also can be unlearned. The two major types of fear which are the biggest threats to success are number one, the fear of failure, and number two, the fear of rejection. And both these fears are learned and programmed into our mind even before we are 6 years old. Can you believe it? The fear of failure is developed when the parents act towards the child in an inhibitive way. That is, if the parents keep yelling at us or spanking us or acting in a way of disapproval whenever the child tries a new thing or tries something different, then this kind of behavior develops in the child. And the child is not old enough or is not mentally developed enough to understand what is going on around them. So instead of understanding the reason behind this inhibitive behavior of the parents, the child translates this into a message saying that, oh, whenever I'm doing something different or trying something new, my parents are stopping to love me. So maybe that is because I'm too small, or maybe that is because I'm incapable, or maybe because I'm incompetent, or because just that I can't. And this feeling of I can't translates or develops into the fear of failure in the adult. And the fear of failure is the biggest threat to success in adult life. And this fear of failure increases whenever we are faced with a new challenge, or we want to take a risk or try something new, and especially if that involves loss of time, money, or an emotion. And the fear of rejection is also a negative kind of emotion which develops when the parents behave in a compulsive way. That is, if they are saying, if you do this, then only you'll get this. If you don't do this, you're going to be punished in a so-and-so way. And all these compulsive type of behavior by the parents pushes the child to understand that if they don't act in a certain way, the love and affection from the parents will be withdrawn, and they will stop loving them if they don't act in a certain way. So the child thinks that they have to do something which always pleases their parents. So they will be compelled to do things which are rather pleasing to the parents or pleasing to those around them rather than those which they like. And this transforms itself into the fear of rejection in adult life. And this fear of rejection is the second biggest cause of underachievement and failure in adult life. And if you have been treated by your parents this way, and if your love from your parents is conditional rather than unconditional, you will always be facing challenges to make your own decisions. And if you don't get the approval of others around you, you will not be able to make a proper decision. And you will always be dependent on those around you, like your spouse, your parents, your siblings, or your friends to make any decision in life. And this is the biggest cause of failure in adult life. And these fears become the limits of your comfort zone, upper and lower limits of your comfort zone, and you'd rather stay in this comfort zone than try something new or different and become successful. So how can you overcome these fears? You can do exactly 4 things to overcome these fears and to become successful. And that is, number 1 is to accept. So acceptance here is the key. Accepting that all the successful people have gone through these fears, have faced these fears, before they have actually become successful is one good thing you will do if you want to become successful. Accepting that your fears can result in a failure at the max, and failing fast is one way of getting it out of the way. If you just fail fast, and then you will have the time to get up and then realize what you have done wrong and to go on ahead and do something different and try something different. But you stay on this side of the fear, you will never know what lies ahead of fear. So it's always good to accept that fear is inevitable, and when you face your fears, you'll be able to become successful. And number 2 is to have the mindset of a beginner always. So if you are trying something for the first time, it is either that you will become successful, you will do it properly, or the next possible thing is you'll fail at it horribly. And there is only 2 ways of dealing with it. And whenever you're doing something for the first time, you have 2 choices here. I mean, you have 2 results here. You will definitely have 2 results here. Like, you will either learn and you will gain some experience, or you will succeed and you will know what is the right way of doing it. So either way, it is beneficial for you. And remember, failures are definitely the stepping stones towards your larger goal. So it's always good to look at everything you're trying for the first time with a positive and enthusiastic and curious way, rather than with fear, and then you will be able to face your fears and become successful. And number 3 is to remember that fear comes with a cost. Living with fear always comes with a cost. The cost of not trying. And if it is better to try and fail rather than to not try at all. So just even if you try something new, you will always be at an advantage, because you're taking 2 steps forward, and even if you fail one step, even if you fall 1 step behind, it is either ways a gain. So remember that not taking a chance is itself a failure, and if you take a chance, you might be able to realize what you are capable of. So take that chance and remember the risks of not taking the chance at all. And you might lose the life's greatest opportunities if you don't try at all. So trying and failing is always better than not trying at all. And finally, be afraid and do it anyways. So courage is doing something despite of the fear. When you face your fears, you will realize that you're capable of something more, and all these limiting beliefs are only in your mind. And you never know, you might be able to recognize things in you which you didn't know before if you try, even in the presence of fear. So don't let fear stop you from getting to where you want in life. And also, love is the opposite of fear, and when you develop qualities like self-love and self-esteem, they will help you become successful and happy. If you're willing to face the fear and improve yourself, and if you start liking yourself more, you'll be more confident and you'll be willing to face the challenges and take risks which will lead you to happiness and success. When you're willing to take that step out of the comfort zone, that is when you will get closer to achieving your goals and the life of your dreams. So I hope this video gave you an insight into how fear is the greatest threat to success and how you can overcome fear and get to wherever you want in life. So I'll see you in another interesting and helpful video. Until then, take care.